moving forward. We got a heat here. Features 3 ASU Sun Devils, 2 Wildcats. Got 2 from Houston, Iowa State represented. And a very fast, both NCAA and Big 12 record by Emma Sticklin of Texas. Sub 150, not many people have done that. Ariel Beltran in lane number 1, 2:00.82 this morning. Senior Noor El Hendi in 2 for Houston. There's Julia Ullman, the 158.5 this morning. She's next to her teammate Denise Ertan. Top qualifier coming into this out of prelims, only swimmer under 158. Looking to get under 158, Sydney Nethercutt out of Houston in 5. She's 158.2. Arizona has 2 here. The first of them in 6 is Emma Kinsey. And a freshman in lane 7, stepping up against everybody above her in class. It's Kendall Mahlers in lane 8, second of 2 Wildcats, MJ Nielsen. Fun to see a freshman stepping up against a bunch of seniors, sophomores, junior. If I'm the coach and I've got a freshman in an A final, the last words I want him to hear from me right before a race is nothing to lose.
I like that.
Really solid tempo going out in lanes 3 and 4. Really good underwaters from Julia Ullman. We can kind of expect that the whole way through. A great underwater kicker. One of, I think, 2 really good underwater swimmers on this ASU women's team, Julia Ullman. She's proving my point right now. Also Miriam Sheehan, really good underwater. Denise Ertan popping up a little bit earlier, but then off the turn, you'll see it again here. Julia Ullman's going to stay down and try to close that gap a little bit. Denise Ertan starting to build a little bit of a lead here on the field. Sticking with her is still Julia Ullman. Sun Devils running 1-2 right now. Sydney Nethercutt staying in the mix. That 5th 25 definitely belonged to Denise Ertan. But this 6th 25 might belong to Sydney Nethercutt. She's battling back here. And coming back into it a little bit is Julia Ullman. But Nethercutt sub 30 on that third 50, 29.90. Houston going nuts right now on the sidelines. Trying to will Sydney Nethercutt to a Big 12 conference title. Holding her off still with 25 yards to go is Denise Ertan of ASU. But a great last turn from Sydney Nethercutt. Denise Ertan fighting back on top of the water and won't be denied as the Sun Devils pick up a win and take second as well. Julia Ullman out of nowhere on that last 25 helps ASU go 1-2 and top of the podium. Denise Ertan at 156.31. The Sun Devils start out strong.
Ertan went to NC's last year for the mile, and she swam that 200 fly like a miler. She came up, she swam a couple extra strokes each 25 compared to her competition. Here's another look at the last 25. She picked up speed going into the last 50, and then she picked up her tempo even more at about the 12 and a half, able to bury her head from the flags in. And she just finished with better tempo. She finished like she was picking up her arm speed on the end of a mile. And that's the balance in a 200. In the hundreds, you definitely have to work the walls and have great underwaters. But in the 200, sometimes coming up and swimming the 200 can work for you.
I have a feeling that Denise is a pretty good long course 200 butterflyer.
No doubt.
It's a weird feeling. I don't know what it is. We'll be back with the men's 200 butterflies. I think what was the third 25.
He kind of jammed one of the walls too, and I was like, oh man. I was like, if you let your hips drop and you're breathing every stroke to begin with, and the wall, I mean, he bounced right back.
Here we go. Big 12 record is held by a guy in this heat, Ilya Karun, a 137.56, just a second outside of that NCAA record held by Luca Orlando, 136.41. ASU is going to have 2 in this final, but starting things off, Restov for TCU in lane number 1. One of those Sun Devils is Sank Samardzic, and 2, the junior for ASU. Arizona's got Con Naughton, who is a great 200 butterflyer in lane number 3. And there is the man to beat, Ilya Karun, a 140.37 in lane number 4. He's been sub 140 plenty of times, though. Joel Nason 5 for Arizona, getting ready to rock and roll, trying to spoil the ASU party in 4. It's going to be a tall task. And then 2 Utah Utes looking to jump up the rankings here and try to steal a lot of points. And then Brocklin in 6 has done a great job of that so far. He won the 200 IM, great 200 butterflyer as well. Jacob Walter in 7 is right next to his in-state rival, BYU's Jacob Ballard, who is just jacked. Pretty much all you can say there. The senior looking to move up some spots out of lane number 8. One of the best butterflyers in the country, one of the best butterflyers on the planet in lane number 4. Bronze medalist in Paris in the 200 butterfly. One of not too many people to go sub 140 in the short course version. It was 140.37 this morning, so keep an eye on that 140 barrier for Ilya Karun. He's been on so far in Greensboro.
It's so exciting for the people who are going to swim for the U.S. on a home soil Olympics. That's crazy. To even have the opportunity for it to time up.
It's a little bit of luck, but also you got to put yourself on the team to be able to do it. So a lot of skill also involved. Speaking of skill, we're going to see a lot of it between Ilya Karun and Con Naughton. I mean, Naughton, a great 200 butterflyer. This is going to be a battle. Naughton getting after it early for Arizona. Ooh, 46.88 at the 100, setting the tone. He had about a body length lead. Ilya Karun's cut into that a little bit, but it's pretty clear what Naughton's race strategy was coming into this. Ilya Karun's picking up his stroke rate, but he's got work to do. Pretty much tied on that 50 split right there, but Ilya Karun with a great turn and an in-state battle that is starting to go Karun's way. What a kit for Ilya Karun. Ilya Karun staying down, 113.10 at the 150. We're looking at a really good 200 butterfly. Ilya Karun, 137.70. And Con Naughton also goes sub 140, going 139.22. What a patient swim for Karun. Naughton went after it and put together a great swim, but Karun, patient.
It's tough to change speeds that way. It takes another level of talent. And here's another look at the last 75, which you expect to be outstanding from someone who does the 200 fly long course. You knew that he wasn't going to fall off of it, but his ability to take over on the wall coming off the 150 was really impressive. He said he wanted it to be done, and it was done with. The ability to change speeds like that in swimming is the mark of an elite swimmer.
Karun comes in first, 137.7. Naughton goes sub 140 for the first time. A big barrier and a gutsy swim to go out 46 and still hang on and go 26.8 closing. I mean, just went after it. Hopefully we see a couple more swimmers break that. We'll definitely see a couple in the middle of the pool going sub 1 minute in this championship final. We've been talking a lot about ASU. We've been talking a lot about Arizona and this women's team battle. But this one definitely leaning Cincinnati's direction. Lane number 1, Iowa State's got Grace Swoboda, a 1:00:24 in the morning. Evelyn Entrikin in 2 for Houston, a great breaststroker and asset on the 200 medley and 400 medley relays. One of two Cincinnati Bearcats in 3. Lindy Worrell was under a minute this morning. And it's tough to say that Jolie Cry is not the favorite. I think she is. 58.62, and she's been a 100 breaststroke staple in the Big 12 for quite a few years. Also a senior in 5, Eleni Gawalt for Arizona is going to be tough to contend with. Ginger McMahon, the senior for Arizona State, is in 6. Vadavikova in 7 for TCU. And then we've got Lucy Vasquez in lane number 8 for Arizona State as well. Packed final. And looking at that NCAA qualifying time, which if a winner goes under that, they'll qualify for NCAA as well. I think pretty much this entire heat's going to go under that. So we've got a veteran heat in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, all juniors and seniors, with a pair of sophomores and 1 and 8 flanking them. We've seen Jolie in the 50 free, and now we're getting to see her specialty breaststroke, a really powerful stroke, and she is not going to waste any time, I can guarantee you that. Really good end to the pullout there. Her kick into her glide is an asset for her for sure. But she's really good on top of the water. A lot of relentless forward momentum. And she's out 26.99. 14.5 on that second 25. Big 12 record of 56.88 is really quick. But Jolie Cry putting together a great swim here in the championship final of the 100 breaststroke. Best time of 57.99. As Arizona's Eleni Gawalt tries to run her down, but she won't, as Jolie Cry goes 58.02. Gawalt 58.56, and taking third is Cry's teammate Worrell at 59.34.
Cry has really special breaststroke technique. She stays very narrow. She keeps her hands in that power position. She really whips her kick around. Here's another look at the last 25. Her dolphin kick into her pullout. She maintains momentum as she breaks the surface. You wouldn't know that she's finishing 100. She keeps her tempo the same. There's no panic because she has the lead, and she finishes really strong.
4 swimmers going under a minute there, led by a 58.02. Jolie Cry. Her teammate going 59.34. Cincinnati got pretty loud for that one as she dropped more time in the 100 breaststroke. We got the men's 100 breaststroke. Keep your eyes on these guys as they walk by. Because after these first 3, it's ASU all the way to the end. Big 12 record of 50.49 from Casper Corbeau. 49.51, the NCAA record, fastest swim of all time for Julian Smith. Lane 1 for BYU, that's Will Bonnet. So 52.88 in the prelim. Right next to him is not just his teammate, his classmate, another sophomore, Peter Etzold. Etzold at 52.4 this morning, and then Tavner Wisdom is fending off the entire Arizona State breaststroke group, because from Lucien Vernet to the end, it's all ASU. 51.90 for the sophomore. Next to him, Andy Dobrzansky, the senior. Andy's been 51 flat in the 100 breaststroke. Braden Tyvasalo in 6, the transfer from Texas. 52.47 in the prelim. Jonathan Isaki in 7. And John Reeder, lane number 8. So 51.90 is the top time coming into this final, but I do not think a 51.90 will win it. Good starts across the board. Everybody under 0.7 getting off the blocks. Out first, John Reeder, 10.86. Really quick first 25. ASU starts to pull away from this field early. Lucien Vernet looking really good in lane 5, or lane 4 rather. Just in front of him is Andy Dobrzansky as those two pull away from the field. It's Dobrzansky and Vernet in 5 and 4, dead even with 25 yards to go. A better pullout for Dobrzansky, but running him down just a bit is Vernet. And it's going to be Dobrzansky at 51.32, Lucien Vernet 51.65, as ASU goes 1, 2, 3. With Itzhaki in 7 going 52.18.
You called it, Kyle, knowing that it would take much quicker than a 51.9 to win the event. They get 0.6 off their prelim swims. Here's another look at Dobrzansky's last 25. He is really smooth. There's no glitch in that last 25 stroke. He maintains momentum as if it's not a challenging finish after a 75 all out. And his ability to carry that momentum into the final 25 gets the win for him.
Dobrzansky definitely, when you watch his stroke, you just think of momentum. You know, you see some people kind of come up and lurch forward in breaststroke. Dobrzansky's just relentless pressure. Every stroke he takes is just going to be keep on moving forward, moving forward, moving forward. We're going to step away for just a second. Another 100 coming up, this time backstroke. Now, we've talked a lot about the team race. Well, Arizona put 4 into the final of this women's 100 backstroke.
This is your championship final women's 100-yard backstroke.
So lane number 1, the senior out of West Virginia, Natasha Whittle. And your first of 4 Arizona Wildcats. In lane 2 is Cayman Neal, the sophomore. Julia Smierczynska in 3 as a freshman, so a couple underclassmen in 2 and 3, and we're going to keep the trend going. In 4, top qualifier Alexia Duncan out of Houston, 52.41 in prelims. Lila Lilly, the sophomore out of Arizona, in 5, will try to contend and pick up a big win here. Gerda Zulagi in 6 out of ASU, the senior, trying to get her hand on the wall first in front of a bunch of Wildcats. Jimenez in 7, the junior for Houston, was a 53.49 this morning. And Paxton Scarda in 8, the junior out of Arizona, rounds out your 4 Wildcats in this championship final. .41 in prelims for Alexia Duncan is under that NCAA qualifying time of 52.65. Important to keep an eye on that as this race gets underway here.
That's our championship final on here, led by the top seed sophomore from Houston, Alexia Duncan.
Alexia Duncan turns first, the 25, but a really tightly packed field. A really good turn by Lila Lilly in 5 for Arizona. They're going to turn almost even, but just a slight edge for Lilly. 25.3 to a 25.4. Really good walls for Lila Lilly, but she needs to keep that going to continue to hold off Lila Lilly. Lilly pulls ahead on that third 25 yards to go. Field tightening up quite a bit, but fighting back on the last 25. Alexia Duncan for Houston is going to get it done. 52.31. Alexia Duncan, Big 12 title and an NCAA qualifying time by 0.3 of a second.
Alexia Duncan swam a really good race. She had a solid first 50, but she did a really good job of staying consistent, not starting to bounce. Your stroke doesn't really break in backstroke, definitely not in 100 backstroke, but you'll see a lot of the field get bouncy, get their head position a little bit high, start to drop their hips a little bit on that last 25, and Alexia Duncan just looked like a well-oiled machine. just taking care of business from the flagsman.
Yeah, didn't panic, came home 13-23, closed it out, and picked up a title for Houston. Arizona goes 2, 3, and 4, picking up a lot of points in that team race. You're going to want to watch this one. This heat is loaded with backstroke talent. And we've got a really fun battle set up in lanes 4 and 5. Arizona packed 3 into this championship final. Utah with 1, ASU with 1, TCU with 2. But Cincinnati also with 1. We don't want to skip over them because we saw what just happened from Sawyer Tapp before this. Owen Childs is in 1. Eggers Asante in 2, the senior out of TCU. It's a 46-5 this morning. The lone Utah Ute, Nolan Dunkel, looking to score big for the Utes here. It's a 46-1 this morning. The freshman, though, an absolute star in the making. Duncan Henderson was a 44-7 this morning. But forget about that 45-6 that you just saw for Adam Chaney. He's a 43-900 backstroker. Philip Sikchansky in 6, the sophomore for TCU, and you got 2 Arizona Wildcats, and Hardy in 7, DeSangeles in 8, a senior and a freshman. All eyes on the middle of the pool. Lane 4 and lane 5, a freshman versus a grad student. Adam Chaney, the former Florida standout, transferred to ASU, brought some speed onto the pool deck as if they needed it, but they need it now. If you want a bit of a preview here, I would expect Chaney to be out fast. He's a 20.250 backstroker. If he turns anywhere near 10-2 at the 25, we're in for a good one.
This championship field anchored again by Duncan Henderson. Keep an eye on Chaney.
Chaney was sub 44 on the relay. Took a stroke off there, 10:30. Really good underwater work. Going to be a lot to contend with for the freshman Duncan Henderson in 4. A little bit long on those walls, but we'll see if he's got speed to make up for it on the second 50. 21:15 going out as fast. It's all Adam Chaney. Henderson putting together a great swim. But Adam Chaney about to put together an incredible swim for Arizona State, as advertised in the middle of the pool. 44-13 for Chaney and a 44-97 for Duncan Henderson. Utah's Nolan Dunkel does his job in 3. Picks up big points for the Utes.
Chaney sets a new Big 12 record in the 100 rack, going 44-13, breaking a previous meet record that was 44-5-6. Here's another look at the last 25. He works the walls really well. He was 15 off the first couple walls, about 12.5 right there. It's a nearly textbook 100 back, just looking smooth, making it look a lot easier than it is. That's a full-out sprint. He made it look smooth.
Adam Chaney's backstroke kind of fools you into thinking he might be doing a 200, and then he touches the wall and goes 44-1. His tempo is nice and slow. A couple of those walls he probably wants to clean up, but if you're quote-unquote disappointed with a 44-1, as I know Adam Chaney might be, well, you're a pretty good backstroker, to say the least. We're going to toss the break, and then we're going to head over to the diving well, where I'll be joined by Natalie Callum. The lights are going off. The cannons are shooting the CO2. Men's 200 freestyle relay, the fastest relay in the sport. Smacker, when I look at the times that these guys are going now, they almost look fake. ASU entered with a 1:13.72. Important to call out. Big 12 meet record, a 1:15.76. That certainly feels like it's on borrowed time. The reason I say that, as Remy Fabiani hits the water next to Duncan Henderson, is last year ASU incinerated it. They went 113, but jumped on one leg of the relay, and that record survived for one more year. But as Remy Fabiani tears through this first leg and goes 18:62, that record starts to run out of time. Johnny Kulo in the second spot for these ASU Sun Devils. He's been sub-18 before. He's out 8:41 to the feet. We'll try and do quick math on it. A 9:75 for an 18, very low, as Adam Cheney hits the water. Cheney out 8:66. That record is as good as gone, because waiting in the wings is Ilya Karun, one of the fastest 50 freestylers in the country. And at 55:06, with 50 yards to go, you can forget about it. The only question is, how low are they going to take this record, as Ilya Karun is out 8:52. A 9 low calls it 17, and he does. 17:92 for Ilya Karun, and a 1:12.98 for the Sun Devils. Meet record gone. Big 12 record crushed, and barely missing the NCAA record by 0.18.
Wow, what a swim. You can figure out how to get that 0.2 off. I don't know where it comes from.
It's definitely
but if you're a Sun Devil, you're doing the math right now. How can we each go 0.05 faster? That was really fun to watch. It's 8-second splits from a relay start to your feet is really impressive, and they did it over and over and over again. Just a lot of consistency, and once again, a really big win in a relay that's tough to win by a lot.
Tough to win by a lot, but they definitely just did. A 1:16.18 is a great 200 freestyle relay. A 1:12.98, just elite of the elite of the elite. One of the fastest 200 freestyle relays in history. And Smacker, you kind of called it out. It does feel like they've got 0.19 in there.
You have to figure out how. I mean, as quick as they can get off that podium, they're going to be trying to figure out how to set that U.S. Open record.
Body length lead in a 200 freestyle relay is tough to come by, and I don't expect we'll see one here. We've got a little bit of an in-state battle. We've hinted at it a couple times over the last couple of days, what this 200 freestyle relay could be between the Arizona Wildcats walking out right there and the Arizona State Sun Devils walking out behind them. We've gotten to watch them go head-to-head in this race a couple of times. We've been lucky to be able to do so. We're going to get to watch them do it again here. Riley Botten will lead off for Arizona. She can absolutely fly. Miriam Sheehan in 5 for Arizona State will work underwater, but right now it's Riley Botten. A lead for Arizona is not what Arizona State wanted, and it's going to be a big one. Check the split for Riley Botten, 22:06. A 5/10 lead over Utah in 6. Kondraskite in the water for Arizona. Indigo Arman for Arizona State. A tight, bunched field for second right now.
And it's a body length lead right now as you cross the halfway.
Arizona putting on a clinic, 43.5. They're averaging well under 22 seconds per 50 right now. Charlie Millard in the water for Arizona. Shane Golland for Arizona State trying to close the gap. They're going to hand off to Cachot, but unfortunately for the Sun Devils, Arizona's sprint group has depth. In the water is Julia Wozniak, and she's going to be really tough to catch. Julia Ullman in the water actually for the Sun Devils. Wozniak 10 flat to the feet going out. A huge split on the way for Arizona as they run away with it by more than a body length. Arizona into the wall at 127.33. ASU second at 129.47. And third goes to Cincinnati.
What a swim. You just talked about how rare it is to get a body length lead in a 200 free relay, which is so true. And Arizona was able to do that in a conference final. Here's another look at the final turn for Wozniak, coming off the wall really well. She goes straight arm for the last 25. Her kick is really strong behind her, and she keeps her head down from the flags in. But really, Botten built that lead, and I think it's most important of all of the relays in the 200 free relay to have the lead, because you have that clean water, and you have every other team, when they're doing their exchanges, they're getting antsy. When you put that pressure on people, you put some pressure, and you can see some false starts in other lanes when you have a big lead in the 200 free relay, because there's not a lot of time to come back, and so it really puts pressure on the rest of the field.
Last thing you want to do in a 200 freestyle relay is have to start to think, and Arizona just made that entire heat think. That 127.33 will be heard around the world. Arizona on top of the podium in back-to-back events. They watched the men crush it in the platform final, go 1-2, and then they ended up back on the top of the podium in the 200 freestyle relay. We are back, and we're not going to miss a single dive here, because what Natalie and I have seen so far has just been can't miss TV. And Natalie, I'm expecting that the platform final is going to be a can't miss platform final as well.
Yeah, you're not going to want to miss a single dive.
Starting things off is Elliott Dillon out of TCU. Arm stand double with a 1.5 twist. 3.2 degree of difficulty.
Really nice start to his competition. Those judges in the handstand dives really want to see the divers display that control and that hold at the top of the handstand. Dillon does a great job of that, gets right into the twist, squares it out. Washes past vertical on the entry, but really good control at the start. Telling you, the pressure is on, and these men are performing one after the other. Great jump, good transition from the twist to the pike, confident in that square out. Nice rip on the bottom.
That puts Luke Hernandez into first for the time being. Feels like the man to take it away is this guy right here, Gage Dubois. He's your leader through 5 rounds. He's doing a back 2.5 with 1.5 twists.
Wastes no time. Gets to the end of the tower, sets up, does his dive, absolutely drills it. Needs 59.85 to win. Stands this dive up. Great job from the twist into the pike. 72 points. Will win him this event. Fantastic finish for him.
A clutch last round dive. Arizona Wildcats putting on a show here tonight. Gage Dubois 383, Luke Hernandez 371. As Bryn James steps up, reverse 2.5 at 2.8 degree of difficulty to close out our contest.
Love the finish. This was the Bryn James we saw in prelims. Ripping dive after dive after dive. Great jump, gets into the tuck, sees his spots, pikes out, plenty of time, absolutely disappears underwater. 9s, 75, 60 on that last dive.
9.5, 8.5, 75, 60, like you said, Natalie, and that'll jump him up into third. What a final round from the men's platform final.
Great finish.
The Arizona Wildcats showed up in a big way. 383 for Dubois, wins him the gold, and the silver goes to Hernandez at 371. Bryn James takes third. Arizona Wildcats on top. We've been talking about the team standings pretty much all night. The Arizona Wildcats just showed up in a big way in the men's platform final. 1-2 for Gage Dubois and Luke Hernandez. Take a look at Gage's dives here. I mean, just one after the other. And it really has felt like in the diving well so far this week that we've just gotten treated to some of the best diving in the country, if not the world. You had Luke Hernandez applying the pressure, Gage Dubois answering back with rip after rip, a little big celebration there, and well-deserved after a huge last round dive. I mean, I want to call it that last 8 dives in round 6 real quick. I mean, it was a great overall event. Those last 8 were absolutely incredible.